Hey everybody, Brad here with Arizona Grows. I just wanted to do a quick intro for this week's video. Say hi to everybody. Everything in the tents is going great. Only thing I really forgot to talk about this week was that the autopots, man, they're drinking. They're drinking a lot. Like a lot. Man, they are drinking a lot. And I'm telling you, in the last 3 days since I turned on the system, probably 10 gallons of water. 10 gallons across those, what, 6 plants, I guess, but really 5 plants, but 10 gallons. Crazy, just drinking like mad right now. Some of that's the summer, but it's only 78 in the grow room. They just want to grow, man. So it's going to be exciting. That Trader Grow is really going to light it up. I can tell this time. So that's it. That's this week's video, or this is the intro to this week's video. So you're about to see this week's video, so that'll be different. But just want to say hi. Hope everybody's having a wonderful summer so far. Brad here, Arizona Grows. Welcome to my garden. Hey everyone, Brad here with Arizona Grows. This week we're in the MarsHydro 5x5 tent under the brand new FCE 6500 from MarsHydro. Guys, this light has been amazing since we put it in. On Saturday night, we cranked it up to 50%. 50% power. It's just raging right now. This light is so good. Look at these plants. So the light's been on since 8 o'clock last night. So we're about 12 hours into our cycle. Praying, happy. By the end of the day, they'll all be kind of down. And I've just been letting them go for a little bit. The auto pots have just been turned on fully for the first time. That happened also on Saturday. So the plants have been getting used to that. This Cosmopolis plant over here has just been getting big. I just keep bending it out because I know this plant over here is going to be a lot smaller. And then this plant, the Drippin' Ain't Easy in here, it's kind of getting taken over by this sherb cake. But look how healthy this is. It's just so healthy. I think it might have been getting a little too humid in here, so I've been opening this port on the bottom of the tent. So we'll kind of go from there, but man, these plants have been looking so good. I'm so excited. And we'll flip in. You can't really see the plants in the back, the little ones, but we still have the watermelon, Z-Skittles from Barney's, and the gooey gummies back here. Both of them are hanging out, doing really well. And then over here, you can see we're bending it mostly this way, so this open part I can either move the sherb cake over or I can fill it in with some other branches as we start the stretch phase. But yeah, we're kind of bending everything sideways on that one. And then this one here, same thing, continually bending it outwards. Like this branch here is ready to go under the next thing. So that's what I want. I want that coming outwards, and then I want all this stuff standing up. So that's where we'll go. I mean, it's coming along. It's looking really good. Like this guy here, I think we can move this in here, and then look, we can put the bottom on one side, the bottom on the other side. Now we have 3 tops basically in the same spot, and really eventually we might be able to move this even further out, which would be awesome, you know, get it kind of tucked down over there. And this one here can kind of come out another thing. So that's what we're doing. We're just filling everything in right now. As stretch starts in the next little bit, when we're going to flip the light tonight, I think, in the flower, when stretch starts, we'll continue moving these so the tops stay kind of even, and then we'll lift. You know, we'll come in and do a big clipping on the bottom and get rid of a lot of the bottom stuff that's just not going to make it to the top. We haven't really done that yet, but it's time. Oh man, they smell good already. Like I can get the stink on my hands. That's another way you know they're ready. This Cosmopolis, it's had some weird kind of tacoing with the leaves. I think it was getting a little too much humidity. Later this week, this is just going to be a quick video right now. Later this week, maybe even tonight, I'll get the footage. I'm going to feed all these plants The 3 in the little 3.9 gallons. The tray to grow's already been fed with a massive feeding. And so we're going to feed all these plants in the 3.9 gallon tray to grows. They've just been exploding with growth, probably more than they're ready. So I'm going to give them a huge top feeding. And then Friday I'm supposed to get my Cal from Build the Soil, which is like a calcium magnesium supplement. I'm going to put that in as top watering with a little Build a Flower and a little Build a Veg, so they get an immediate boost as we're going into stretch. So if we start stretch tonight, Tuesday night, and then Friday they're getting a huge feeding. We'll turn off the water for their dark cycle, so they drink up all their water that's in the bins, and then we'll do a big top feeding of the Cal, the Build a Bloom, some aminos, Q-Yaha to keep it nice and even through the thing. We'll throw in some root wise, make sure everything's hopping, and that'll probably be the only feed we have. We're going to do that because we've seen some of this color on these. One thing I did in the last batches in the reservoirs, I've added some Epsom salt, which is a huge magnesium boost. I think the plants could really use it, so that's why I did it. I mean, I'm not seeing any really. There's a burnt tip there, but everything else along the plant looks good. And this is probably the lightest colored plant because it got the biggest and the smallest tray the fastest, so it'll need the most boost. And then over here everything's crazy. I haven't done like any maintenance, which is horrible. I need to get in and start doing some hardcore defoliation, but I think everything's looking really good. I'm excited. Hopefully anything like this in the leaves. I just did the feeding, but when we do the more immediate feeding over the weekend, as soon as we get our stuff on Friday, and Friday night we do a feeding, what you're gonna see then is an immediate boost. Now the color won't come back to the leaves that are damaged normally, but they will pick up all the nutrients still, so all the new growth will look awesome. And that's all we're looking for as we go into flower. We want these plants to be as healthy as possible. A lot of these tops you'll see are red and stuff. A lot of that's just from when the plant was mistreated earlier, because these were the original tops coming up, and they're just kind of growing out of it slowly. So we'll see. Everything looks really good. This plant down here, the smallest one in the 3.9s, but it started later. I did some maintenance to take off some of these big leaves that were covering things. So this will be our fun little experiment. It was kind of a last minute add-in, but this is the Event Horizon. We got clones from these too, so everything's ready. And then over here, it was too wet. I think what I'm going to do when I re-amend the soil again is I'm going to add in a bunch more of the pumice, but this was a clone of the Neon Sunshine from Exotic, and it was in the other tent, so I had one clone that worked of the Neon Sunshine, and this is it. And what I did was I put it in here, and now it's growing. It took the place of that Debo because it was too wet, and I added some more pumice, so hopefully that'll keep it happy. Looks like it's doing okay right now, so I'm excited about that. And we'll just kind of go from there. But this is the tent this week, guys. We're in the MarsHydro 5x5 under that brand new FCE 6500. I can't say enough good things about this light. I love the distribution across the tent. The spectrum seems really good. The plants have just responded super well to the Snoobar style light. I couldn't be happier, man. I'll be getting another one. I don't need one right now. But this winter, I think what we're going to do is when we do our breeding, we might be going down to the 2x4s. A couple 2x4s. We'll either do 3 2x4s or 2 2x4s and a 3x3, so we can do some breeding. And maybe I can convince Mars to talk to me about doing a 2x4 kit with one of their bar style lights, because this bar style lights are so amazing. I can't say enough good things about them. They're just fantastic. I've really enjoyed this light so far. I think you can tell the plants are thriving under it. So we're just going to go from there, man. I think everything's looking good this run. I'm going to flip into flower tonight. I'm going to do a feeding on these 3 in the front. Big feeding. Probably more than they need. you know, because it won't be available for like 3 weeks. So it's not going to hit. Whatever I feed them now isn't going to hit until they've been in stretch for 3 weeks. So it needs to be big because they're going to need that. And then on Friday, when I get the cow, I'm going to put it together with the Build-A-Bloom, maybe a little Organics Alive veg formula, and I'm just going to water it in from the top and let these guys just, you know, suck it all in. And that's immediate nutrients. It's almost like doing a compost tea, which we might do later if we need one. But I think everything in here is looking really good right now. Any of the deficiencies I've seen, I think have already been corrected. So we'll go from there. Over this next week, you know, is how we'll figure it out. But I think everything's looking really good. And I can't wait to show you what it looks like, man. We're going to see how flower works under this brand new light. The FCE 6500 from Mars, man. I think flower's going to be, we probably might get our best results that we've ever had this time. All right, everybody. Brad here. Arizona Grows. Happy growing. Hey, everyone. Brad here with Arizona Grows. Welcome to my garden. We're in the MarsHydro 4x4 veg tent under the FCE 3000. See what I mean? This is the old style of their light. The metal's a little bit shinier. It's like a silver color. The other one's gray. And then these screw in on their own. With the new lights, you don't have to do that. The bars come already attached and it's ready to go. So it's just a little bit different. And then you have all these other connectors. For each bar you add a connector. Now it's all inside. Everything's a lot cleaner. So that's just the difference between, you know, last year's light or the year before, maybe 2022, and the 2024 light. The 2024 light's better. But if you can find one of these on a deal, man, I would scoop it up. This thing's been powering the 4x4 for a long time and it does a great job. Over here we have the Neon Sunshine mother plant that we've hacked way back. If you can remember, it was up here. We hacked it way down. I'm just trying to get rid of some of the stuff in there. If we get the clones to work that we just took, we'll be just chucking this. This will be done. We'll put something else in there. One of the new clones or something that we really want to keep. And we'll figure that out as we go along. And then right now we have clones of everything that's in the flower tent because we're about to go into flower. A couple of them I have 2 clones from. A couple of them I only have 1 clone from. We'll see how it goes. I did have a couple successful clones last time. I've never had problems before. I think it's just because it's the summer. I'm not sure. The water might be a little too hot. When I cooled the room down a bunch, it didn't get any better, so I turned it back up, and that's when I actually got roots. So I don't know. I'm just kind of lost on that right now. I know in the winter I just put them in and it works perfect every single time. So figure it out as we go. But right now everything's in there. It's just some RO water. Everything was dipped in Clone-X, so hopefully they'll just take off. And then I have my mom's houseplants down here. This one came to me a little bit ragged. We're trying to bring it back to health. We haven't had a ton of success yet. But that's where we're at there. This cactus one's looking pretty good. This one's got these cool little flower things coming out of it. I'm not sure what those are. I've never seen them on our plant before. It's probably just new growth, but it looks kind of cool. So this plant's doing really well. And then this is a Sherb Cake clone that came through. And then this is an Amulet OG. In here from Daz Night Owl, and if this from Dark Owl actually, and if this one actually takes off, we might end up putting it in the one over here because this is the only one that I haven't had a seed germinate yet. It doesn't mean it won't. It's in there somewhere. And maybe we'll dig back through in a couple days and look for it again and see if we can find it. But if not, we'll probably just transplant this in there as soon as it's big enough, so that way all the auto pots are full. And then in the back here we have the covers from New Moon Grows on Instagram. These things are sweet. You can see, you know, you set them up and then the stock will come up through the centerpiece here, and you can open these, make them as wide as you want. So let's take a look. This is the Hawaiian one. This one's kind of my favorite. But down inside you can see we have the seeds starting. And then in this one, same thing. This one, the guy got his little helmet was stuck on. Actually, it happened on both of them, which is weird because I direct sowed them in the ground. Maybe it wasn't wet enough, but both of their helmets were stuck. So I just took them off right now, so I'm expecting them to start thriving today. I'm actually going to lower the light a little bit so they have a little bit more power, and that's where we're at. I think everything in here looks really good. Alright everybody, that's it for this week. Brad here, Arizona Grows. Happy growing.